Hi everyone, my name is Scott.
And I'm Mitch, and we're your favorite redheaded realtors. Well, whatever's left of his. Anyway, together we form the Mahaffey Group, licensed real estate broker serving the entire Denver metro area. So there's been a lot of movement in the markets, and today we're going to talk about what exactly is going on in the Denver metro real estate market. There's a lot of hubbub in the news, and there's a lot of stuff floating around social media that may be painting a picture that looks worse than it actually is. So we've got the August numbers here in front of us, and we're going to break them down for you in what's hopefully an easy to understand platform. Jumping right into it, in the month of August, we saw 5,170 new listings hit the market. Now, on the flip side of that, we saw 4,836 of those leaving the market by being put under contract. So, what that means is for the first time in a few months at least,
we've probably ended longer than that actually.
Yeah,
we're looking at about a year if I remember the numbers correctly. So it's definitely been a while.
For the first time in a while, we have ended a month with a surplus in the amount of homes available compared to the amount of homes being taken off the market. For a very long time, there was more being taken off the market than was replacing it. And this is partially indicative of the shift that we all knew was coming when the Fed announced they're raising interest rates. We're just seeing it in action right here, right now. Now, it's important to keep in mind that 1 month doesn't make a market, and statistically speaking, the Colorado real estate market does still favor sellers. So if you're on the fence about selling, it's important to know a couple things. Price, location, and condition are all going to matter again. They've already started mattering. So it's incredibly important that not only is your house priced accordingly to the neighborhood comps, but it's also priced accurately given the condition.
Yeah, and what we've seen over the past couple of years too with sellers is, sellers were basically in control because of the demand and the extremely low supply. A few months ago, I forget exactly when it was, but we had just over 2,600 homes on the entire market, which is, it's below low. It's extremely low. So sellers were able to basically demand everything they wanted.
Yeah.
That's no longer the case from what we're starting to see. There's a definite shift. Sellers have to be a little more aggressive in pricing. No longer can sellers expect $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 over list price. Those days are pretty much done. So as Mitch had stated, sellers are in control of two of the three, items there, which is, the condition of the property and the price. And pricing your property is very important in these days right now.
Yeah, especially given the fact that due to the rising interest rates, your buyer pool is also shrinking. So as a seller, not only are you going up against more potential competition with the surplus of properties available at the end of the month, there's now fewer buyers that can afford those houses. Now, less so important in your first-time buyer range, the 4s to 5s, but anything above that is really when you need to make sure that you are priced as accurately as possible.
Yeah, what we're seeing pretty much is anything below $500,000 in this market is still pretty competitive. It's not crazy competitive like it has been over the past couple of years, but there's still a lot of activity there. Above 500, we're seeing some softening.
Yeah,
starting to slow up a bit. The average, just looking at the stats here, apologize, my phone locked on me. Your average days on market for the Denver metro area now is up to 19. That's a 46% increase.
Which, looking at percentages, holy cow, 46% increase. Well, that doesn't sound good.
No, it sounds horrible, actually. So don't let that fool you.
But it's only 20 days, 19 days. It's still not a long time at all, especially on a national scale.
Yeah, we're just seeing some correction right now. So 19 days, that's still really fast. Homes coming off the market in 19 days is amazing.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people, including us, as agents, we've gotten used to that homes on the market sold by Monday.
Yep.
Under contract and gone, and now we're heading back into more of a normal. The house is going to sit out there a while because now more people are looking. People aren't offering on the very first property just because it has 4 walls and a roof. We saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that going on. Just offer. So what that means as a buyer in this market is with the interest rate increases, what we're seeing is, especially the very first rate increase, we saw a lot of first-time home buyers get pushed out of the market. The second increase, we saw a few more that were marginal, that could, were doing whatever they could to get in the market. Now, what that means, if you're out there now and you're pre-approved or you're thinking about being pre-approved, this is a great opportunity.
It's fantastic because negotiations are back on the table as a buyer.
Definitely.
In a market that still statistically favors sellers, for the past couple of years, you had to get rid of a lot just to be competitive. We heard stories of buyers waiving their inspection objection rights and offering, of course, everybody knows that offering over list price was the standard to get your contract accepted, and a lot of that is starting to disappear.
Yeah, you actually had a deal that you guys went 100,000 over list and lost
100,000 over list, and we didn't get the property. We were beat out by somebody that bid that much more above us.
Yeah. Now, what we can say definitely is those days are gone. So we no longer have to worry about that. In this market, as a buyer, though, like he is saying, there's room for negotiation now. With fewer buyers and a little bit more inventory on the market, now we can actually start to negotiate in your behalf. No longer, like you said, gap, offering way over list and giving up inspections, which we never recommend. Now it's a bit more normal, to put it, in one way.
Yeah, if that inspection comes back and there's a couple things on there that are concerning, you're not stuck with it anymore. Sellers are more likely and more willing to fix it or offer you a credit in lieu of now than they were at any point in time in the past 2 years. Same goes with appraisal. If you're not offering 100,000 over list price, you don't need the cash to back that up, because for the first time in August, we saw the close price to list price ratio dip just a teensy bit below 100%. It's like 99.5%. So it's still up there, and sellers, you're still maximizing what you're getting compared to the list price. But as a buyer, all you need is that 0.5%, because now we can negotiate the inspection. Mm-hmm. If the appraisal comes in low, we're not scrambling to come up with the funds to pay the difference because we had to offer an appraisal gap, because that's what the other 15 buyers that wrote contracts on the house did. If it comes in low, hey, let's revisit the price, Mr. Seller. Hey, let's contest the appraisal. Make the appraiser back up his sources. It's a lot of this is a return to normal. We are feeling the shift, and it's important to take into account the Denver area does have a seasonal market. Spring and summer are definitely the busier months for real estate here in Colorado, but it's still, I don't know what I was going to say. I got distracted by the cat.
Yeah, I got my door. It's a seasonal market. Yeah. It's definitely seasonal. We have vacations ending. School's starting. Kids are getting ready for school. So people are kind of drawing back a little bit. Now, typically what we see, though, is right after school starts, there will be a little bit of an uptick in people being back out there. So if you don't have much of that going on in your life right now is a really good time to be out and looking at properties, because the demand and the competition is even lower than what we've been saying. So there's still opportunity there, no matter if you're buying or selling. On the sale side, your house is worth probably the most it's going to be worth in the next few months, foreseeable future. With, there is some uncertainty about the Fed, what they're going to do in September. So that's some uncertainty. And that's for both sides of the aisle. So right now, if you're thinking about it, let's get out there. Let's get pre-approved. Mm-hmm. Let's get a house under contract so that you can get your rate locked.
Now is the right way to buy a house, by negotiating. So, yeah, historically, because of the seasonality of Colorado's market, August, September, we see a lull. It does start to pick back up October, November. There is a shift, though. In the spring and summer months, we see purchases being done for financial reasons, be it for a seller or a buyer. Of course, at the end of the year where we're in, buyers are buying more for lifestyle changes. They found a new job, or kids started at a new school that they've been on the wait list for years to get into. Now you're buying to be closer to those things. That's the biggest driving force in the market at the end of the year here versus economic reasons in the spring and summer.
Yeah, so what we're going to see, end of August, early September, we see this bit of a drop off. We'll see a slight increase as we go into, late September, October, and then we'll start to see it slow again across, Christmas, New Year's, and then next year pick up. And that's just the season that we have. And I think that's pretty much nationwide unless you're in the Sun Belt, Florida or somewhere.
Yeah, vacation markets tend to see probably a busier winter than we do in Colorado. Yeah. I know it's not fun to move. Add moving in a blizzard? Really? No, thank you.
Right. So that just gives you some insight as to what the Denver metro market is doing. If you would like to speak more about this, you can call either one of us at the number that we'll put on the screen here. We'd love to talk to you. If you're on the fence about buying or selling, we can kind of talk you through the market. This is no pressure. We'll just lay it out, let you know what your options are. We can give you an estimate of what your home value is worth, and we can, be happy to do that for you.
Yeah, we are happy to help in any way that we can.
Yep. So together, my name is Scott Mahaffey. This is Mitch Mahaffey, and together we're the Mahaffey Group at Vestra Realty. We'd love to help you, so reach out, give us a call. I hope you have a nice day.
We'll see you guys in the next one.